How can we repay the Lord for all his goodness to us? The chalice of salvation we will raise, and we will call upon the name of the Lord. Welcome, my sisters and brothers. It's good to be back together again. Thank you for spending this time together. Today's a special day where we commemorate Francis de Sales. During the time of my life, when traversing through the dark night, God sent John of the Cross. And when I came out from the dark night, God then sent Francis de Sales to assist me further on my journey in faith and devotion. And if you wonder where the name of my channel came from, it goes back to the early 2000s, to a book I'll show you in a moment from Francis de Sales, titled Philothea, or An Introduction to the Devout Life. The word Philothea is a feminine name of Greek origin, meaning lover of God or friend of God. In his book, titled the same, Philothea, or An Introduction to the Devout Life, he refers to those reading the book as Philothea. Because it's a feminine name, a lot of men wouldn't read it or felt offended. So in his next book, Treatise on the Love of God, they're both very deeply spiritual, and they're both addressed to you and to me, instead of to the religious women and men of his day. For people living in the contemporary world is what these books are for. And I know that if you were to acquire them, that you would find them rewarding. The Treatise on the Love of God, again by Francis de Sales. And in that book, he refers to his readers as Theotimus. Again, it has a religious meaning, but it's a male name. And he did that because of the pushback he got from other people about the term Philothea. So even though it's a feminine name, keep in mind that the name Philothea refers to people who love God. Francis' compassionate introduction leads the reader through practical ways of attaining a devout life while living in the world, and offers prayers and meditations to strengthen devotion in the face of temptation and hardship. And the following is from the Introduction to the Devout Life, or Philothea. In this particular chapter, the heading is Spiritual Retreat. On this subject, Philothea, I would require you most earnest attention to my counsels, for it involves one of the most important means towards your spiritual advancement. As often as you can through the day, recall your mind to the presence of God by some one of the four methods I have mentioned. Consider what he is doing and what you are doing. You will always find his eyes fixed upon you with unchangeable love. Then say, O my God, why cannot I be ever looking up to thee? Thou art ever looking down upon me. Why dost thou ever remember me, whilst I, alas, so often forget thee? O my soul, thy true rest is in God. Art thou seeking it there only? Just as the birds have their nests which they can retreat, and the stag shelters himself in the thick forest, seeking shade and refreshment when the summer is hot, even so, Philothea, should our hearts daily seek a resting place on Mount Calvary, or in the wounds of our blessed Lord, or in some other spot close to him, whither to retire on all occasions, there to rest from their worldly cares, and to find protection and strength against temptation. Happy the soul which can sincerely say to the Lord, Thou art my house of defense, my strong tower, my shelter against the storm, and my refuge against the heat. Remember then frequently to retire to the solitude of your heart, even whilst you are externally occupied in business or society. This mental solitude need not be hindered, though many persons are around you, for they do but surround your body, not your heart, which should remain alone in the presence of God. This was what King David did throughout his numberless cares, and we find him in the Psalms perpetually exclaiming, My God, thou art ever before me. The Lord is ever on my right hand. To thee, O Lord, have I lifted up mine eyes. O thou that dwellest in the heavens, my eyes are ever looking to the Lord. A reading from James chapter 3, beginning at verse 17. However, the wisdom that comes from above is first of all pure, then peaceable, gentle, and considerate, full of mercy and good fruits, without any trace of partiality or hypocrisy. And a harvest of righteousness is sown in peace by those who are peacemakers. So let us make sure to give God a few minutes of our life this day, for we owe our very existence to Him. And I'll finish today with a reading from the treatise on the love of God. I am presenting this material to souls already experienced in devotion. It is natural to write one way for beginners and another way for master craftsmen. This book goes beyond what I wrote for Philothea in the devout life. May God bless you and fill you with divine love. May we grow in devotion and faith to our Lord Jesus Christ and look forward to our heavenly home. And with God's help, may we meet again tomorrow.